I was filming earlier and I was like, hey, this thing is too dark. Are these niggas seeing me? Kumbe, like, I didn't put it on 4K, but like now y'all seeing a bitch in 4K. What's up? What's up? Yo, welcome to the African Tantric Goddess podcast with Goddess Monesi. Um, I was actually debating on calling this podcast The Crazy Life of a Kenyan Girl. But then it's like we can save that title for something else. So, but that literally just defines me. And yeah, welcome to the podcast where we tap into black female domination. That's the best way to call it. Because this episode for today, first of all, we're already on episode 3. We've reached episode 3, 3 weeks into the African Tantric Goddess experience. How y'all feeling it? How y'all feeling it? But the topic for today, I want to discuss about something really intense, because I'm a very provocative. To be honest, already me existing with my dark skin and my natural hair, I'm already provocative. So let me just speak about the provocative things already. Black women in sex work and also facing sexual abuse or any form of abuse as a black woman and the family dynamics of black women in sex work. Let's tap into it. Let's start with the hypersexualization of the black female body. Yes, yes, yes. We're going back. Actually, we're not even going back. It's still real. It still goes on to this day. But when we go a little bit back, it just didn't come out of nowhere. Like it didn't just come out of nowhere. Let's go back when the oppressors or the white men who they pulled up at the show. Screw! They saw this beautiful, beautiful black women just walking around, titties out, ass out, beautiful, dark skin shining, melanin glowing, and they were like, huh? People can just be walking around naked with fat ass. They could not believe it. And their first instinct was, whoa, these people, these people are too sensual, you know? So let's just rape them and abuse them sexually. And yes, it goes back to colonialism and slavery, guys. Yes, we are talking about it. Because most of the abuse and sexism and racism that black women face today is the consequences of that, guys. It's the consequences of that. And if the education systems didn't suck and if they were real as fuck, me as a black woman, I wouldn't be sitting here today speaking about this. But since the education system sucks, there's not awareness about all of this, so I am here today speaking about it. Okay. Like, let me cook. Sit down, let me cook. Okay. Um, Tapping back into ancient African civilizations and how the woman and the black female body was seen and viewed wasn't in a sexual manner. Actually, before the white men showed up, we was living in a matriarchy. The woman was worshipped consistently. People showed her reverence, like the queen. Even in the villages, the queen had more power than the king. The queen always had the last say. The whole fucking army was warriors, and the warriors were women. Women were the leaders, they were the nurturers, they were the healers, they were the educators. So they weren't seen as sexual objects. And the reason why they were walking around naked simply because that's the climate in Africa is hot, so they never thought that they needed clothes. That's the literally only thing. There is literally there's not even any sexual connotation about most even you see today when you go to so many tribes in Africa, there are still so many tribes where women walk out naked and their breasts are out. It's not a sexual thing. That's just how they fucking dress because of the climate. Like, boom. Wow, I just dropped some knowledge for some people. But yeah, some people came through and they had to take advantage of the natural sensuality that black women have, since they come from areas where women do not have a say on anything and women have to do what the man says and women have to cover themselves. And even though women cover themselves, they still face sexualization and still get raped. So for them, seeing black women just being open and walking around naked was like an invitation to rape and abuse them. And when we time travel to 2025, you still see that shit. All of these things that black women face in dating, in relationships, in sex workplaces, even in countries where sex work is legal and where racism is illegal, black women are going to be the least respected, are going to be more, like, they will be more abused towards them. And it's because of the way the society we live in and also the system benefits from all of that, because you will see it a lot, especially, for example, for me, I already, like, I know when I leave the house there's a chance some man will try some bullshit with me. When I do my work as a yoga instructor or as a massage therapist, there's always gonna be some man who will want to make any sexual advances. When I try dating, even I just make a profile on a dating app, the first message will be sex. It won't even be hi, how are you doing? And it's like, oh, it's because you show too much. Oh, you should cover yourself and this and that. And it's like, if I just told you earlier that there are tribes in Africa where women are literally walking out with their titties out and nobody is actually even thinking about them as sexual objects, then that means if that is happening in the world of today, then here in a world where it's apparently civilized, um, we could also give black women a break. I don't understand the obsession with the black female body. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it because it's not only the men, it's everywhere. It's workplaces. Even if your boss is a female, she will have something to say about your hair, about anything, like about your body shape, anything. Like, it is always gonna be someone who has to say something about how we look. Same thing, hypersexualization thing that started during colonialism. It has been stuck in our communities. So you have seen generations and generations of black families still keeping up with that colonial mindset of trying to suppress black women, of exploring their sensuality and not teaching them, like, ways to embrace your sensuality, because it's part of being a woman. Like, as a woman, you look good, you have a sexy body, and then somebody is telling you to suppress your sensuality because there's a man out there who will hurt you. Why not you go and address the man who is going to hurt the lady, instead of telling the lady to So this thing of, oh, it's any woman at any given day, you can get sexualized. Doesn't You don't need to be a sex worker to be sexualized. And also, let's tap into it. Sex work. Sex work is not just sex work doesn't mean fucking. Please, come on, guys. Duh. Like, let's, because every time I talk about sex work, because I am I really have heavy heavy opinions about sex work, right? So I will talk about that shit every time, especially every time I meet a man. At some point I will start talking about that topic to see their mindset, and that will give me like a glimpse of who that person is, so that I know if I go, or if I keep them in my life, or I go. You know what I mean? And every time somebody opens their big mouth, I just feel like slapping. But you know what? I keep shit to myself because I'm avoiding jail. I have anger issues. I'm avoiding jail. Okay, so I keep shit to myself. But hey, sex work can be strippers, sex work can be bottle girls at a club, sex work can be burlesque performance, sex work can be girls who work in tantra massage salons. So this thing of, as soon as you hear sex work, or your brain just goes directly. Sex work can be selling feet online, selling feet pics, please. Sex work, like this thing of, s- you know, like always judging sex workers, and just like equal, like you just equal it to prostitution directly. It's like, come on, people will take the time to judge sex workers, blame sex workers for everything that happens, um, to sex workers, and then they go and do the same, same. And most of these people are women. Huh? I'm not even talking about the men. They will go and do the same shit as sex workers. What if I sit here today and tell you that marriage is sex work, dating is sex work, and it's the cheapest form of sex work? Cause last time I checked, them sex workers are making bank. They're making bank, and they get to go home and sleep sound and safe without no man disturbing them, and no kid crying in the background. Tuh. Let's talk about it. Um, Marrying somebody, you sign a contract, and it also involves money. It's just not love. Like there's an love. Love is always like the cherry on top. There's no such thing about love, because if it was about love, why would you need to sign a contract? Why? Tell me why. It involves money. If it was about love, then why when you separate you have to give the lady 50%? Why? It's also about money. So marriage is sex work too. And you having to submit to all of these roles as a wife, and on top of that give birth to I don't know how many babies, and take care of your finances, take care of the household, just to have like rent paid and like social security, is really the cheapest form of sex work. So as a woman, before you sit here and bash women who choose to just directly ask men for money and nothing else, is actually like, girl, you are missing out. You're missing out. Oh, you are missing out, because the girlies are not necessarily giving these men sex, but you are, because you decided to marry this person and have kids with them. So you are necessarily having sex with them. Sorry to break it down. Sorry to break it down. Sorry to break it down for y'all. But keeping shit real, I have met a lot of strippers, even just entertainers like in adult clubs, and um, they make money. Like the way they make money is really smart. These women are literally like business business mode when they tell you that sex work is the oldest profession in the world. It is the oldest, and these women know what the fuck they're doing. Because I have this friend, um let me tell you, there's not even anything. If you walk past her in the street, you wouldn't notice anything like interesting or just wow about her. She just looks like a regular woman in her 20s. Yeah, she's a bit taller than me, also dark skin, and she will literally just make money in the craziest way by working in the club. She was telling me, you know, the like they try to sell VIP experiences. That's when you go in a closed room with a client, and you can sit there, maybe give them a dance, or you can have a drink or whatever. And the price is quite high for entering the VIP room, and most of the prices are charged by the hour. And this woman is very smart, because most of the clients that she gets in the VIP section, they don't ask for anything. They sit and they talk. Most of them actually even cry about their problems to her. And it's like, mm, it's crazy, because most of these women on especially social media, they sit down and bash, um they bash sex workers, and they bash the women who say marriage is sex work. But yet there's literally a sex worker right now at the strip club. She just made 3,000 euros because a man was wanted to sit down and cry about his family problems to her. These women, they know how to, they have the emotional intelligence. And since their work involves meeting men a lot of the time, and being surrounded by men a lot of the time, they get to analyze and study how like men's brain work. So they have strategy every time they get a client. Most of these clients don't get shit from them. And I'm just saying by this, just to tell y'all, um, even though like sex work has been made legal in so many countries this day, we still need to do some work to decriminalize the work. Because even after there's so much associations, workplaces where sex workers can work in a safe environment and all of that, we still get the abusive men. We still get the society talking crazy about the work itself. Um, we still get a lot of injustice, and most of the time when we face abuse, or when I'm saying we because as a financial dominatrix, I do consider myself as a sex worker. It is sex work. Tuh. And I will say, yeah, we don't get enough protection. Because when you face abuse, it's like, oh, it's because you are a sex worker, not, oh, that man was an asshole. You know what I mean? So I have had instances where I have had to go and report some things to the police and abuse, and till this day, like, nothing can happen until I can afford a lawyer to get help, which is crazy. And it's like tapping back into it as a black woman and also working in sex work. It happens a lot to so many black women in sex work here that most of like reports and complaints about abuse, they just get that the police will even lie to you they've taken notes. There's no notes, there's nothing that was put in the system that something happened, and you can call them for days, for months to follow up with it, and they will just say some bullshit and make up shit to make you believe that they are working on it, but kumbe they don't give a fuck. And this all comes with the criminalization of sex work. So legalizing it is not enough, because if a young 8-year-old woman can go outside and get sexualized, now imagine what a sex worker can face while doing her work. And talking about the laws regarding legal sex work, especially here in the Netherlands, I just saw one of the um, dominatrix that I follow on IG. She's also based here, and she really did a nice article for Trice talking about the laws, the sex work laws in the Netherlands, and it's crazy. Like, not being able, like, the only safe way you can work is either you work at the red light district or you work at your own home. Like, there's you can't book um a safe hotel where there's hotel staff around, so if there's any problem you can just alert the hotel staff. You can't book, if you're a dominatrix, you can't book a dungeon where there are, staff around, and if there's any problem they can come and help you, you know because most of the time, if you're a sex worker and you have to receive clients at your own home, um, most of the neighbors will be dismissive as fuck about it. And also, another thing, not everybody wants to be um, sitting at the red light district and just to make some money. I'm sorry. So, I don't understand where the legal laws are, to be honest. Because if y'all are gonna make it like a legal work and make it that in a way sex workers have to pay taxes and stuff, also give them protection like any other worker will get. Simple, because it is work. Duh. And talking about the work part and like the legal stuff, let's also talk about. I was also talking about, like, having to work at your own home, having dismissive neighbors, and also tapping into family as well. For most, especially for black women, especially of African descent, sex work is seen as like, basically it's a sin. So if you're a sex worker, it's basically like you're a sin walking on earth to them. Child. And do you understand like how hard it will be, because I most of the women who will come to work in countries where sex work is legal are like women from outside countries, and most of them immigrants as well. So imagine you're coming from an immigrant family who see sex work as a taboo. You can't talk to them about any of that. You can't open up about any abuse if you face any abuse. And then on top of that, this is the government that is telling you that your work is legal, but it's it's just it's not seen as a good thing. So you can work, but you figure it out on your own if you have any issues. It's really draining because talking about my experience, especially having um, a dad who was actually never there. Literally, I only got to build a relationship with him in when I was 20, and it ended there. And then also having like my mom and being raised by my mom and my stepdad, I have faced quite a lot when they found out about me, working as a dancer, or me doing financial domination, or me having, BDSM stuff like whips and stuff, because I do be whooping niggas ass, okay? Period. I, I stay whooping niggas ass. but, but like the obsession to control my body and my sensuality, and also the shame I have faced because I am a sexual person and I'm open about my sexuality, and also really comfortable in my sensuality too. It it makes them so, like, you can feel like, no, like they just do everything to just make it harder for me to exist in my truth, literally, because the fact that I am literally just existing is crazy. And that is one of the reasons why has pushed me to open up and like start this podcast, is because we need more black female voices who are talking about this stuff. So being like a yogi and doing all this tantra stuff has actually made me way more open about my sexuality and way more comfortable and embracing it and loving my body and all that, and having no shame to get on the pole half naked and shake my ass, and having no shame to demand men for reparations as well. And it's like I don't understand why that would disturb somebody to the point where they have to, take all of my BDSM stuff away and throw them in the bin, and have people stalk me on the internet to see what I'm doing. Yes, I'm talking about family members coming out of nowhere talking to me about stuff that I've posted. Ati, a friend shared it with me. Please, you have people who are ready on my social media pages, ready to see what I'm doing, so that's how you know it. Because why is it every time? Why is it every time? And it's straight on the same day I have posted something provocative. Same day you're on my phone telling me to delete it. Delete what? Kwani Instagram ni yako? And it's like crazy because people see me as like this aggressive black woman and this and that. And I'm like, imagine if you want aggressive, I will show you aggressive. Since y'all, when you see a black woman who's like really open about opinions and thoughts, you see that as like an attack and you want to call me aggressive. I can show you the real aggressive. I choose not to because I said earlier I'm avoiding jail. So let, okay. But little do they know, I really don't care. I actually really just love my parents, and if they don't want to accept me for who I am, then it's okay. I can just like, I'm not, I won't force myself to continue rebuilding relationships where I am just getting disrespected and getting um my worth, being told that I'm worthless because I have chose to do a different thing in my life and not what they wanted. So I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. And it's like, also, like, now that I'm 21, I'm learning how to step back and actually choose my life, choose me first, and instead of always trying to force and get back in communication with them. Like, they do have my phone number, they can reach out anytime, but I don't feel like I want to reach out all the time. you know I don't want to go to family gatherings and be told that I'm not educated because I do yoga and financial domination and ati and this and that. Like, I don't want to hear that. I've been hearing that so many times. I don't want to hear that again. So it makes so much sense to see, like, a lot of black women who work in sex work, they choose to be alone. They just detach, or if they're still in contact with the family, they hide their lifestyle to them completely. And it can be really, really isolating. And that's why I wanted to come to this part of building community as a sex worker, especially as a black sex worker, which has been the best thing that I have done for myself. I have been through social media, I've been able to connect with other DOMs around the world, and I try to make it a habit to at least talk to one or two of them in a day, like text them, say hi, and build connections. And maybe they might be in my city one day, or I might be in their city one day, and we can work together and stuff like that. So I really do suggest starting with getting into groups, either if it's like on Telegram, or if it's a WhatsApp group for sex workers in your city, or if it's a, I don't know, Instagram group, Twitter group, whatever. Just a place where you don't need to hide that lifestyle, because living a double life can be exhausting, really. Not being able to be your, like, 100% you with the people you call family can really be exhausting. So you do need to build that community, and you will be surprised, like, the women in the sexual community have gone so hard for me, so hard till this day. Like, I used to be like so engaged with communities here in Europe, but I'm not. Since now most of my domination work is online, I only connect with other DOMs who do online domination, so I don't really tap in with the girls that I've been talking to here in Europe. But I would say, till this day, I have a few of them who still check on me. They still, they will literally send me money if I'm in a situation where I cannot afford food or rent. They will look out for me. No family member will do that, and that's crazy. That's really crazy. And it's like, most of these women will be like, oh, you're young, and I want to make sure that you're safe, because sometimes this work can be draining. And oh, it's because I'm a mother and I have kids and I understand how it feels to be young. And they do these things out of their hearts. And it's like, you will be surprised, there's a tribe out there waiting for you. You do not have to be alone and isolating all the time just because you're a sex worker and society sees you as, you know as you're seen as a shame to society. No, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of all the good things in life. So let me know if this resonates with you. You can DM me, really, if you wanna you know, talk, DM me if you wanna do content together, DM me if you wanna work together and you live in the Netherlands or UK, DM me. Like, let's build, you know, a tribe. Like, it's because it's really hard already out here as a young black woman. So any other young black woman is into this domination stuff or just working in the sex work industry in general, DM me. My social links are down below in the description. And also, you can stream this podcast on Apple and Spotify. Africa Touching Goddess Podcast Plus. Yes, that side will be more intense where I'll be tapping into really, really deep, deep things into financial domination, African spirituality, tantra, feminine energy, and I already have one episode on there called "What is a Fin Sub?" Just 20 minutes of me talking about the basics and 101 of um, having a financial submissive as a financial dominatrix. And with that said, I am leaving y'all after ranting. Okay, yes, I am out. Peace.